Okay, YouTube, it's Sunday morning, Easter. I won't get a lot done today, but I did get out here and just kind of test fitting my new downpipe. I'm going to show you what I'm going to have to do. It's what I think I'm going to have to do. You grab me a paint marker. I'm going to have to mark and do a little trimming. I was told and also read that whenever you replace the stock flat downpipe on these things, that you're going to have to beat on your firewall, and I think I'm seeing I won't have to beat on it. I'm going to do a little trimming. Let me get a flashlight. Let me pause the camera. Okay, we got a little light under here so you can see. As you can see, unless I were to take the cross member off and lower this transmission down with a jack, engine and transmission, tilt it back rather, this pipe isn't going to come straight through. And I think what people were talking about that they beat on, let's see, this part right here, this is kind of a heat shield. This isn't actually part of the floor. But if you look in this hole right here, you'll see a flange where the actual floor of the cab is spot welded together. And of course that flange runs from here all the way across, I would say, and over to the other side. And what I'm going to do for now, I'm going to mark this with my paint marker. And I'm going to take me a grinder and cutoff wheel. Probably won't do it now. Maybe tonight after I get back from the whole family Easter thing. And I'm going to trim that out without actually cutting into the floor. And probably put some sealer in that seam. Paint over it so it won't rust. Brush on some paint or something. Then we'll see how it fits. Of course, when I trim just this, it might look different once I get the pipe down to the position it needs to be. But I think I'm going to do that instead of beating on it, because there's really not enough room to do any serious beating. Okay, I'll pause this camera and probably won't get back out here till tonight or this afternoon to do that. But I'd like to at least see this downpipe bolted up. Stay tuned. Okay, we're back. It's still Easter morning. I decided I got a little bit of time before I have to go over and do the Easter thing. And as you can see, I did a little trimming with a grinder and cutoff wheel up here, and the pipe comes down a little more. Looks to me like it wouldn't hurt a thing if the guy was to cut this ear off, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's going to make a lot more room for this pipe to fall on down in here. My goal is, I guess I could drop the transmission, not take it out, but I mean undo the cross member and lower the whole engine and transmission down the angle of the jack, and it give me more room. And then I could bolt everything up and put it back. But my goal here is to have this thing fall in here so that if for some reason I ever have to remove this, I don't have to take a bunch of stuff apart. I can just remove the pipe. And that's why I'm doing it this way. So I'm going to cut that ear off and just see how much more room that gives me. Okay, YouTube, this is Thursday night, April the 12th. Yep. Just want to show you what I've got done. Let's see. I worked on it a little bit since Easter. I went ahead and, like I said I was going to do, I went ahead and cut that ear off. Used a hacksaw and then kind of ground it down. Smoothed it out a little bit. Also found out that if you remove the bell housing bolt, it helps the pipe go down in there a little better. And I don't know where I put that bolt. Doesn't matter right now. I'll have to find it later. And I found out that after you get your pipe positioned where you want it, I'll try to get up while holding the camera, that the bolt goes right back in. But I just want to show you how easy this thing goes down in there. If you do it just right, yeah, it will fall in there. Sometimes you got to get the procedure down. But I think I remember turning it this way, and there you go. It's in. Just put the clamp on. me position this camera somewhere. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to show all that. Hopefully that camera will stay. If it falls, I apologize ahead of time. But anyway, all we gotta do is put our clamp on. It's almost hard to do, holding everything in place. Let's see, and we got this bolt right here. I got that on backwards. This bolt goes through like this, goes through that hole, and put a nut on that. And I'll just hand tighten that for now. And it's on there. Let me show you what it looks like from underneath. That makes it a lot easier. It's almost knocked my radiator support over. Hang on. Not enough room in this garage. Oh, I think a guy at Paintballer said he wished he had a garage my size, and I also commented back that your garage never gets big enough. No matter how big of a garage you make, you always need more room. Right there's proof. I almost kicked over my radiator support. But anyway, there you go. Fits in there just as nice as can be. And I can still move it around because I only hand tighten that clamp. And the next thing I got to do is fit this other pipe, which oh, I don't know how well this video is going to turn out. It doesn't look like I'm really pointing the camera in a way I should be. Yeah, this pipe here, this is hard to do one-handed. Anyway. Okay. See if I can show it. Yeah, this pipe will fit over there. I'm going to have to pause this camera and we'll get that fitted up hopefully tonight. But yeah, that goes up in there like that once I get it slid up in there. And as you can see, I was talking about removing the bell housing bolt hole right here. And you can get that bolt back in after your pipe's in place. And the reason I removed that bolt is the head kind of gets in the way when you're trying to slide that pipe down in there, and then once the pipe gets all the way down in the position it needs to be, it's clearing the bolt, and then of course you can put it back in. Alright, I'm going to try to fit up this other pipe. We'll show what that looks like at hopefully a better angle. Stay tuned. Okay, we're back minutes later. We got the pipe fitted up in here, but we're going to have to make some changes. Up here, where this pipe, slides over the downpipe that I earlier fitted onto the truck, I'm going to have to cut it a little shorter, meaning the first pipe that goes all the way up to the turbo outlet. I'm going to cut it a little shorter, maybe, I don't know, ½ inch shorter, because right now this thing is really close to this cross member. And I also need to be able to turn it. This is so hard to do with one hand, but I need to turn it a little more because we can't get this piece on right here. It's supposed to go, let's see, it's supposed to go just like that. It's supposed to fit up in there. I really don't know how this video is going to turn out, how well you're going to be able to see this. But anyway, as you can see, yeah, that pipe there needs to be up a little higher so that this can fit under it. And hopefully enough to where it'll clear and not even rattle. Actually, it probably wouldn't hurt if I took 1 inch off of the end of this pipe here. That way this will be able to, this is a pretty good slip fit. This is a aftermarket exhaust system, MRB I think. I have to look at the box to be sure. I'll tell you that later. But anyway, and this slides all the way down in here and then it bottoms out. So if I cut about 1 inch, I think 1 inch will work good off of here. And then we'll test fit it. And I may have to cut a little more. You don't want to try to get too crazy and cut too much off all at once. You know, it's a lot easier to remove metal than to add to it. I can add to it, but I don't want to have to. Okay, let me trim that up and we'll see how that fits. Okay, I decided to get brave enough and take about an inch and a half off of this thing. Oh, it is so hard to do things with one hand when you're trying to work the camera. There you go, about an inch and a half. Alright, try to test fit all that, see how that works. Okay, YouTube, it's the following Sunday after Easter, I believe, April 16th. Haven't gotten much done since the last part of this video when I started making it. I trimmed everything I said I was going to trim. Got that upper pipe fit up in there. I think I've already covered that. And of course this piece right here slides over the actual downpipe that bolts into the turbo. I ended up cutting 2 inches off the back of this first front pipe, and I finally got the fit that I wanted. Ended up putting my transmission cross member back in, tightened everything back up, got the braces in. I kind of forgot about these braces, and so I had to trim more than I thought off that pipe to make it fit right. But now you can turn this to where it points straight back. It's close, but it does clear. And of course, right, it's just slid over there. It's not clamped or welded on yet. And it'll make even more clearance right there. It's not too bad. A little tight up there, but hopefully that won't rattle because it'll be bolted tight. Hopefully. And let's see what we got to do next. Let me get out from underneath here. And I have the original brackets for the hangers off this truck. Here's the front one. And I'm going to have to get the rest of them off my old exhaust system. Luckily they all just slide right off. Show you how that fits up. Here's my old exhaust, of course. And of course this is where that piece I just showed you slides off. And it's right here, all these. I'm going to need to use 2 hands for that, but as you can see, it's got these brackets welded to the pipe. And there's like rubber bushings in all these hangers, and you can see where it bolts to the frame. Got another big bracket right back here behind the muffler. And right there, it's a better look at that rubber bushing. I don't know how well you can see this. I can't see nothing in my screen because of the sun shining on it. And actually, no, that's not broke. I thought it was broke. The bolt got cut off. But I need to get all those off and sandblast them and paint them. I think I'll go ahead and do that before I fit the rest of the exhaust up, because I'm just going to need them bolted on the frame. And bad weather's moving in. I want to get my sandblasting done and over with. So that's what we'll be doing for the rest of the day. I'll get those cleaned up and painted hopefully, and maybe I'll have time to start fitting up the rest of my exhaust. Here's the rest of my exhaust, by the way. It is a MBRP exhaust kit. I think I got that right. I got my instructions over here too. Yep. MBRP. And here's all your hangers. They come with similar, you see these rods welded to your clamps. A lot of that, some of it matches up, some of it doesn't, so I'll probably be having to make some stuff. I want to use those original hangers. Give me a good idea where to put my tailpipe, hopefully, because I don't have the bed on it. I'm afraid I'll have to leave that open for adjustment somehow. But anyway, that's where I'm at. We'll try to get back to work, and I'll show you whatever progress I made through the day. Stay tuned. Okay, YouTube, it's still Sunday, April 16th. We'll show you where I'm at. Been pretty busy today. just about got all the exhaust hung up, and I got to tell you, this MBRP exhaust, I got to give them a thumbs up because the kit is pretty close to replacing a stock exhaust. All those hangers they give you with the steel rods look like about a 5/16 or 3/8 steel rod. All of those pretty much matched my old stock hangers. As you can see, I sandblasted this one here. The guards for the rubber is kind of falling off. I need to put that back in place. But you can see that original hanger up there, which is bolted to the frame. You can see how they're clamped in steel rod. The steel rod is welded to it, of course. Fits right in the rubber insulator. Same goes for the muffler hanger. You get rid of the big strap that goes around your original muffler, and that clamp goes right there. If you just look at the diagram and study it for a little bit, it all comes together pretty simple. Tailpipe hanger, their clamp and steel rod also matches with that. I kind of like it. And what they tell you to do, something I kind of neglected to do until I went back and looked at the directions, is once you get from the turbo back to about here, it'll tell you which length of pipe. You get like 2 lengths of straight pipe. One of them's 37.5 and the other one's like, I think, 46 inches. Don't hold me to that. It's 40 something inches. But you put the 37.5 right behind your turbo downpipe, which is in 2 pieces. I've already showed you that. And then you go ahead and mount your muffler up. You see how I got it hanging here? I had it on a jack stand for a little bit. And what I did, I took my original muffler hanger and cleaned it up, bolted it on, and used their clamp and put it right at the end of the muffler where it should clamp it to the tailpipe. And you get this one after you get that set up to where you want it. Of course, I got the pipe that curves over the differential going to the tailpipe. That matched up, like I said before, matched up with my tailpipe hanger. You got this one remaining piece. I think it's 47.5 inches. What you're supposed to do after you get this all the way you want it, you cut it, which is going to be a lot shorter. You measure and cut it about where you want it. It'll go, like I said, from here to here. You can see it's got the flange where it slides over the exhaust. And what I'll do is, it's kind of hard to hold with one hand, hang it up like that. I'll mark it right there where it hopefully slides into my muffler. I'll be marking it right about there where my thumb is. Cut it. And that should do it. Okay, let me do that and I'll show you what the finished product will look like. Stay tuned. Okay, YouTube, we're back. We've got it all bolted on. Everything's just finger tight, of course, but just want to show you how it all turned out when it's all together. I'm kind of happy with it. Still need to add a clamp here, of course. Only tiny little complaint I got about the exhaust when I went to fit this piece up that I was talking about before I paused the camera. They could have spread this opening up a little more where it slides over the small end of the other pipe, which I just deburred it. Actually, I took a pair of vice grips and kind of opened it up. I've got a pipe spreader, but it doesn't go that big. It's only for like 2.5. It's for them wimpy little stock gas engines, I guess. But I just opened it up with the vice grips. You can see how it's kind of folded out there, and got a piece of wood and a little 2-pound hammer and tapped it on. The good thing is, I doubt it's going anywhere even if I don't clamp it. And I won't have to weld it or anything. Which I don't want to weld any of this together. I want to be able to disassemble this exhaust if I have to. And I guess the next thing to do is, let's see, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, right here where it comes out, where the tailpipe hooks to the pipe that curves over the differential, whatever you call that pipe. I may have to do some adjustments after I get the bed on it. I'm not sure if that's too low. It looks kind of low. It may be about right, but all that can be adjusted in how I adjust my, or tighten my clamps. You can usually position this up and tighten all your clamps up. Position your pipe is what I meant to say, and then tighten all your clamps up. And it'll stay where you want it. Worst comes to worst, if this is too low, I can cut this piece, shorten it, weld it back together. But that's something I can't really do until I get the bed on the truck. So that'll be pretty good ways from now. So it's going to remain like it is for now. But now that this is on there, I'm kind of anxious to hear this thing run. The only exhaust I ever had on this truck was the stock exhaust, and right there was the downpipe, a little flat downpipe going into 3-inch stock pipe. I'm pretty sure it was the original exhaust. So I'd like to hear this thing run. Excuse me. But we got a little bit of work to do. I went ahead and ordered. I don't want this exhaust to rust up. Man, the wind is getting strong. I think we got some bad tornadoes headed this way. It's already going on out in Oklahoma and all stuff like that. I know this has been really windy all day. Anyway, I'm getting off subject. The next thing I need to do, like I said, this is not the expensive stainless steel exhaust. They do have that available. But this is such a good price, I went ahead and bought the, I think it's called aluminized pipe. I don't think it's mild steel. But I'm going to paint it. I ordered some more PR15 exhaust paint. If you remember, I used their manifold gray on my exhaust manifolds and my turbo. I really like the way it turned out. I was going to order some more of that. Then I just got on eBay about an hour ago and seen they had some metallic aluminum for painting headers. I think that's what I will paint the exhaust with. It's supposed to hold up to heat, so hopefully it will keep it from rusting and it will keep it looking good. So I'll show you how all that turns out, but because of that I'm going to have to take all this back off to do it, but that's fine. And the leftover gray paint I have, well, I'll go ahead and do these hangers with that just so I can use it all up. Shuck the can, feels like it's still liquefied, so hopefully I can use it. That's all for this video. I guess this is a good how-to on getting this getting a performance exhaust on your Powerstroke. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, thanks for commenting, and thanks for all my subscribers that did subscribe. That's it for now.